Here's a preview of what you'll hear on this episode of Beyond the Wheel.
On our Facebook page, we have people taking pictures next to wild animals, elk and buffalo. They're in places that I've never seen, and that's one of the main takeaways of what Cortes is about. You can basically take it anywhere, have fun, camp with confidence, camp in luxury. And if you still want to go to campgrounds and national forests and cool stuff like that, that's still cool too.
Now enjoy the show.
You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com.
Today we talk with Anthony Corpora, the CEO of Cortes Campers. This is a new company in the industry, with their first show being the 2023 Hershey RV Show. These are fiberglass towables with a lot of innovative features that should provide a comfortable ride and comfortable living. We talk about all the features as well as more details on the company. But before we get into the episode, I want to ask you to leave a rating or review on your podcast platform of choice. This really helps the show reach more RVers. We thank you in advance for taking the time to do this. Now let's get into the interview.
Hi, Anthony. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Cortes Campers?
Excellent. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Anthony Corpora. I'm the CEO and president of Cortes Campers. I came on board as the CEO of U.S. Lighting Group 2 years ago. I've been involved with the company about 4 years ago. And obviously, my background in leadership and management is what brought me to this stage of the game, where I can obviously drive the corporate vision and bring that to light to obviously build the subsidiaries of U.S. Lighting Group, and obviously Cortes Campers is our main focus right now with our main revenue stream. So, master's degree in leadership and management. I value relationships, integrity. The big takeaways of being a good leader and just putting that into place to build up a company.
So how would you describe Cortes Campers, and how are they differentiated from the rest of the RV industry?
The Cortes Campers revolves around molded fiberglass, and that's a small niche market in the United States. There's only about 3 other main players. And the big takeaway between molded fiberglass is you have a much more rigid and stronger product. Instead of having thousands of pieces that create a camper, in our construction, we just have a top shell and a bottom shell. We have an inner shell top and an inner shell bottom. And that basically creates the whole camper. So there are 4 main parts, and we go one step farther to say it's called a double hull, meaning there's outer skins and inner skins. So again, that separates us a little bit from our competitors, but molded fiberglass, you're dealing with a stronger, more rigid product. Our big takeaways that we're bringing to the market is a much lighter product. And again, it comes with, a longer lasting product, a little bit more on the buying end, but obviously more on the resale end. So there's a lot of benefits. So you can obviously say that, we bring a lot of innovation to the market. It's a niche product, but we are still have some mainstream competitors that you can say that we will compete with down the road as we grow.
It's interesting, the fiberglass camper community. It's almost like a cult community, for lack of a better term. It's kind of like, you have people that you have the Airstream community, and they all are big on Airstreams, and you have like the VW bus community, and I see the fiberglass community is kind of its own little niche too.
It surely is, and eventually, we're growing our social media network. Every day, we're getting 2, 3, and 4 members added to our Facebook, and there's going to be a Cortes Campers cult following as well. And the beauty of the RV industry is, you know, we're not bringing more sand to the beach, but we're going to create a mark in the industry that people are going to just draw themselves to Cortes based on what we're bringing to the market. We're probably not going to be your first camper, but we will probably be your second or third camper because of the innovation, the quality, the attention to detail, and the indestructibility of the camper. And I think that's huge value to what we're bringing. And there's nothing against our competitors, but we are different, and we're proud of what we're doing. And as people say, the industry is big enough where there's a lot of pieces of pie, and then we're going to get ours. People are drawing to Cortes because they just want to get to not having to either have to resell their camper or fix their camper in a couple years. So there's a lot of value to that. So we're definitely excited and to embark on our own, as you would say, cult following.
And how long has Cortes Campers been around? When did you guys start manufacturing, or when did you start selling?
We started selling third quarter of last year. And again, one thing that set Cortes apart from the other molded fiberglass manufacturers, we wanted to have a dealer network. And we said that is how you go from a small company to a big company. All the big players have a robust dealer network. So part of our sales team and what we're doing is to be very methodical, to build a network that's strategic and that will be successful. And that's what we've been doing. We showcased at Hershey last week, and it was outstanding. The response was outstanding. We heard comments like, boy, I have to go back and do my homework, or I have to rethink what we wanted to purchase. And that's kind of the goal was successful. The show was very successful. We retailed units, and we're doing the same at Elkhart this week. We're building the network and meeting dealers. So, we're on track to meet our goals. We're not going to have as many dealers as some of the big guys like Thorn Forest River, but we're going to have 80 to 100 strategic locations throughout the U.S. and Canada, and that will all be very intimate relationship built through the consumers, and that gives huge value to molded fiberglass of what we're bringing to market is a nice dealer network.
I'm glad you're getting that positive feedback at the shows. I think the shows are very valuable in that way, that you get that in person rather than some type of keyboard warrior or anything like that online. I think the in-person stuff is great. For anybody that might have missed you at the Hershey show, will you guys also be at the Tampa show?
Not at the Tampa show. We're still working on it. Trying to when you're building a company, obviously we have multiple subsidiary companies as well. So we kind of have a crawl before we walk mentality, and obviously we're still on a high from Hershey. I mean, we just couldn't believe we got in the show. It was a huge success for us, and Elkhart, and and obviously now we're focused on getting the new dealers on board and then making sure we could meet the production demands so we could showcase our units at their shows. So again, It's hard to do it all at once, but we'll get there eventually.
Before we get too far, can you tell us about the name Cortes? Where did that name come from?
So it was named slightly controversial, but we named it after Hernan Cortes, which he landed in Mexico. And obviously, I'm not highlighting on what he did in Mexico. I'm highlighting the innovation that he brought at the time of just having the innovation of the armor and the weaponry that was just so ahead of what the Aztecs had. And I always tell people, it's no different than when someone asked Michio Kaku, who is that, he's that intelligent physicist, and they said, "What would it be like if aliens landed on the Earth?" And he said it would be no different when Hernan Cortes landed in Mexico, because their innovation technology would be much more than ours. So that is really the main takeaway of Cortes. It's the innovation, it's the big takeaways of doing things the industry has never seen. And that's what we're really focused on with the name Cortes.
So speaking about that innovation, Anthony, you had mentioned earlier that you have an outer wall and an inner wall. So to me, I look at that and think, well, that must give you a natural barrier for insulation Is that true? Am I looking at that right way, or am I thinking about that the right way?
100%. And fiberglass doesn't transfer heat or cold efficiently. So on top of having two walls and an air barrier, you're dealing with fiberglass. So it is very energy efficient. It doesn't transfer heat and cold very efficiently at all. So, it'll stay cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. Exactly what you want.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, I was thinking about it the right way.
You throw on top of it our acrylic windows, double pane acrylic windows, tank heaters. Obviously, that's where we can vouch to say we have a true 4-season camp.
Oh, very cool. And which is really important right now because I'm sure, as you know, more people are trying to get more use out of their campers. I mean, a lot of people are even living in them now compared to what it was years ago. So having that 4-season camper, I think, is going to be very, very important going down the line.
Yes.
So when you guys come up with this idea of like an outer shell, inner shell, it's giving you the insulation and stuff, I would imagine there's got to be a lot of R&D that goes into the product before you're even able to bring it to market. Are you allowed to talk about how long were you guys in R&D? How long did it take, to go from idea to production?
Yeah, Cortes Campers started right around in 2020. So we were in our R&D heavy for about a year and a half. And one big advantage, we didn't always have a single inner shell, upper and lower. We actually had multiple shells, and that's when our team decided then to move to that monolithic single piece shell to really add to the construction, the ease of manufacturing, and not only that, the fit and finish. So, we've come a long way since, the early Cortes Campers. They're all robust. They're all stout. They're all built to last. But as you get into this business and as you understand that it is a very aggressive business that, is in high demand and creating a product, you have to think of your profitability, your ease of manufacturing, and being able to meet the demand of the dealers and the consumers. So we really went back to the drawing board at the second half of the first quarter and really started to dive heavier into R&D to make the product that you see today. So again, continual improvement, work on process and innovation to manufacture at a faster rate, and that's what we're bringing to the table is our ability to manufacture, and that's one of the big takeaways on the success of Cortes. And I can actually probably take it a little bit farther. Obviously, we are going to unleash a new model. Our 16-foot camper, I don't know if you know, we have two floor plans, the 16 and the 17. And in the camper, I've heard the best bathroom ever in a camper of that size. It's a wet bath, but it's almost big enough where some people said it almost could be a dry bath. And the difference between the 16 and the 17 is the 16, we actually have a king-size bed in the camper, which is, I think, the first time ever a king-size bed has been in a camper that size. And we cut the kitchen down slightly where some people might not have the value of needing the big fridge. Now you move to the 17, you get the smaller bed and the bigger kitchen. So we kind of cater to, two different kinds of people. And especially if you're bringing a family, the 16 could obviously sleep more than the 17. So we're very excited. We're going to come out with a new model that we're going to call the 18, and our 22-footer will be the biggest molded fiberglass camper ever created. It'll be an 8-foot wide, and we're just really excited to get it rolling because it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be a huge takeaway in the market, and we're just excited to bring this out. Dealers and consumers, they just can't wait to see it.
That's great. That's great that you don't have these different options and different floor models and stuff like that. You said the new one will be 8 feet wide. What is the current one? What is your 16 and 17?
They are 6'6" wide.
6'6" wide. Okay. So, but for somebody looking for something lightweight, I would imagine, that's the way to go. Like a smaller footprint, they could probably tow it with a much smaller vehicle. They might not need that F-250 or larger vehicle to tow with, which in a sense probably cuts down on their overall cost when you're not needing a big diesel dually camp, RV a big diesel dually truck to pull it with.
we're shooting for the 22 to be 3,000 pounds.
Oh, even that's very lightweight for the size of the camper. That's great, Anthony.
Yes.
That's super. So I have a question. If you're allowed to speak a little bit about the construction, so it's one piece fiberglass, and then you got your inside fiberglass. As far as when you guys go to build them, are you building so do you do the bottom half, put all of your, I don't know how I would put this, like maybe your appliances, stuff like that, and then cap it off? Or is it being built and then items go in? As far as production wise go, like how does the production line look coming down the line?
So we have 3 stages. We have lamination, preparation, final assembly. So in lamination, they spray all the molds with the lamination procedure. So it starts with gel coat, then to fiberglass, pour material where needed, and then fiberglass. Once they pop the parts off the molds, again, there's 4 main parts. It goes to the middle section, which is preparation. Preparation does all the cutting, the trimming, the grinding. It adds Cusa board wherever needed. That's a lot of our contact of where we tie in our tables and our appliances. They glue everything together. Let's call it glue. It's really called methacrylate. Clean it off, cut the windows, everything, put the holes of the skylights in, and then it gets inspected and then goes to final assembly. Then in final assembly, it gets attached to the frame, and then you put your plumbing and your wiring in, then your appliances. We are RVIA certified, so we go through and do all the RVIA certification for the testing, and then complete it, clean it up, another final assembly, another final inspection, I should say, and then basically that would complete the full construction of how it comes down the line.
Okay. Oh, great. You're pretty well versed in what's going on at the company then. That's really good, because sometimes you talk to CEOs and they don't know all these little steps, but you seem to have a pretty big hand in even, I guess, the day-to-day or the daily operations.
I'm playing a lot of roles right now, yes, and that's what happens when you're a small company. And I've been in the back. I've done all the lamination. I've learned everything. So in my beginning years here with the company, I started as a laminator and moved my way up, and that was the charge. But some of the best CEOs start to understand every component of the process of lamination, R&D. So I can construct any camper, any boat. I've learned from our engineers, who are the best, and I think that's also a huge value added as me as the leader of the company. So I could sand, gel coat, you name it, lay fiberglass. I could build campers if I want.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really good to know. And then one thing I did not hear, as you mentioned, the construction process, was wood. Is it right that there is no wood construction in your campers?
0. The only wood we have in the camper is the cutting board in our Ravati sink. There's no, and that's one of the big takeaways, that wood is just a recipe for disaster. It's not very strong. It rots, it molds, it decays, it could get eaten by bugs. It's just not a good source. I would not build my empire around wood. So that was our biggest takeaway, with what our competitors are doing, that they grossly make them out of wood. And we said that's where we're going to really be the differentiator. And if we are using wood, we will use what's called Cusa board, which is a composite wood. And again, it doesn't mold, decay, can't get eaten. It's indestructible. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to bring an indestructible camper to market.
So cabinets and drawers and things like that, is that what you're using that composite for?
All our cabinets are fiberglass, molded fiberglass.
Fiberglass also? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
interesting.
big takeaway. So if you go to our website and see the inside, you'll see that around the sink, the stove, the fridge, all the seats, they're all fiberglass. Our cabinets are marine hatches, and we go to the minute detail of having all our bolts and fasteners stainless steel. We're sick of seeing things rust. So, we don't have accountants running our company. We have enthusiasts that want to build a great product for our dealers and for our consumers.
And what type of appliances are you using? Are they energy efficient for people who like to boondock or dry camp?
Yeah, so we our basic I'm sorry, our main focus is around the Furrion line. So, with our 17, we have the 8 cube, the 17-inch stove. We use Ruvati sink. We have the Furrion chill air conditioner. So Furrion is our meat and potatoes, and we do put in Dometic products in our 16 with the 1.9 refrigerator and a cooktop. And again, with the boondocking, we have people boondocking. We have solar options, but if you go on our forums and see on our Facebook page, we have people taking pictures next to wild animals, uh, elk and buffalo. They're in places that I've never seen, and that's one of the main takeaways of what Cortes is about. You can basically take it anywhere, have fun, camp with confidence, camp in luxury. And if you still want to go to campgrounds and national forests and cool stuff like that, that's still cool too.
I think you'll find that your consumers are probably going to be your biggest champions, and sharing that information on social media. I think social media will play a big part in that as well. As far as marketing does go, other than social media, are you guys using ads on radio or TV or anything like that? Like what has been your marketing strategy so far, especially being such a young company?
Yeah, so we actually outsource a lot of our marketing right now. So obviously at this stage of the game, instead of we're all wearing multiple hats, so we have a hybrid model where we do outsource a lot of that. That drives all the with the ads and the Google AdWords, things that are beyond my comprehension. I'm not a marketing specialist, nor do I want to be, but obviously it's still I have to have a huge understanding and understanding the budget, making sure we have return on investment. So we do have an outsource and in-house. So it's a little bit of everything. We meet, we collaborate, we try to get our social media updated on the regular. We're doing some other pretty new marketing strategies coming up that we're about to get with, and we're just excited. It's just about getting out there, getting the word out there, however we can, because there's a lot of work to do so we can get to the word out in the United States.
And you also had mentioned, kind of taking the camper anywhere. At the moment, do you guys offer a lithium battery package, or do you have plans of
We
offering
have
any
plans.
lithium?
Yep, that's up to our engineers, but definitely we have plans because that is often asked. So the answer is
Okay,
yes.
okay. Yeah, I know it's really. I mean, the last 5 years, that's lithium has really caught on. Sean's got lithium in his coach. I got lithium in my coach now, and it does make. If you want some consumer feedback, it does make a big difference.
Yes, it does.
Now, I imagine, Anthony, that the fiberglass construction, especially the interior as well, keeps the weight pretty light on your campers. Can you talk about the weight at all?
Yeah, so our 16 is, I believe, around 2,600 pounds. Our 17 is around 2,850 dry weight. And we're going to unleash some technology soon that hopefully will really be a disruptor to get the 16 and the 17 potentially under 2,000 pounds, and our 22 somewhere in the 3,000 pound neighborhood. So fiberglass, if done correctly, is lighter. It's obviously stronger, so it comes with a lot of advantages. Our core material, and again, it's no secret, we're using polypropylene honeycomb core, and that's an extremely lightweight. Some of our competitors use that, so that's a very good play when you're trying to build rigidity and also be extremely light. So those are some advanced composites. But again, it's understanding the lamination, knowing how to build. Whenever you have geometry and construction, you're building strength naturally in the structure. So, you have to put your engineering hat to make sure, you're trying to build for obviously to be profitable and to be rigid and to make sure we're not, building excessively, because nobody wants you to overbuild. Believe me, we can build this thing bulletproof if we wanted to. I don't know if we might have the bear proof model down the road, but that could tolerate an attack from a bear, because I actually think that's a measurable structure, to be honest with you, in the Montana world. But so anyways, we're light and we're strong.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the lightness is that it opens up RVing to a whole bunch more people because not everybody wants to buy a F-250 or an F-350 on top of buying a towable RV. So with the lightness, I guess, of what you're building, it opens it up to a wide range of vehicles.
Yep, and any SUV should pull our 22 and below. So that's pretty outstanding. Not having to go to the big trucks or the diesels. So that's definitely one advantage of the Cortez.
Yeah, I was going to say even like all these popular mid-sized trucks, Tacomas, Rangers, and all that, they're incredibly popular. So yeah, you like Sean said, that really does open you up to a whole new market.
Yes.
I had saw something, and I'm not sure if I read this on your website or if this was information that I gathered from somewhere else, that you guys have a patented gray water dump system. Can you tell us like what's different about your gray water dump system than maybe a standard RV?
It dumps through the frame. So instead of going underneath the frame, we actually had a patent to run it through the frame. So obviously it's similar to your black and gray dump, but we just put it through the frame to just again add that reliability component. When you're going off road, you don't have to worry about getting that thing knocked off from hitting a tree stump or something in the way of some pretty rugged terrain. The frame protects the system.
Might also provide a little extra insulation in there as well.
Maybe a little insulation, but definitely ground clearance, and that's I think the
Yeah.
biggest takeaway.
Something else that is kind of unique to your product is that you guys have an independent suspension. Can you talk about the advantages of using an independent suspension?
Yes, the timber and axle system is amazing. It has a lot of benefits. The unit could be actually raised. It has options to raise the unit. A lot of people are getting the 4-inch lift kit, but it is independent suspension. So obviously it's going to handle much better on the road. It's going to be more capable. There's going to be less sway. It tows like a dream. The spindles can be easily replaced. So if you have a hiccup on the road, it's as easy as replacing a spindle versus having to go to an RV dealer to replace an entire axle that you cannot do on your own. So it comes with many advantages. It's a robust system. It looks cool, but the rideability and the reliability is what really makes it happen. And a lot of the customers are getting it with the 4-inch lift kit, and it looks pretty cool. A lot more clearance.
Is that 4-inch lift kit, are they ordering that directly through you, Anthony, or is that something that they do through like a dealer will do after?
Both through the if they want it, it's through the dealer. We operate everything through our dealers. So if a consumer buys it without it, and all of a sudden they want it, they order it through the dealer, and it
Okay.
is one of our options.
Okay. Oh, so it is something that you guys are doing at the factory.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's great. Again, that's more options I think is great. I bet you that lift will be a very popular option.
Especially when we come up with a different wheel and tire, and we're got some things in the making right now to come out with another cool, let's call it a model or a version, and we'll probably put a 16-inch and a nice mutter on there and call it something really cool, camper edition or explorer edition, and that'll definitely come with the raised timber and axle set.
Okay. I have one question because I'm not very familiar with fiberglass. As far as repairs go, like if somebody was in a fender bender, somebody hits the back of it, is fiberglass relatively easy to patch or fix or repair?
Yes, it is. It pretty much a lot of the auto body guys have this experience, but boat dealers, boat any kind of boat company would be well versed to fix fiberglass. We can do it here at the factory, so it's a little niche in terms of fixing it, but in terms of nicks and scratches, it's just basically some sanding, and we can always send some gel coat. So again, that's one of the I guess I wouldn't say the scares, but that's something that people aren't used to seeing in the industry. But there's boat dealers all over the place that could fix gel coat and auto body shops. So it is a thing, and that's probably one of the biggest the biggest, I wouldn't say issues, but people are concerned. But once they realize it's easy and repairable, now if someone really smashed into the camper and really dented it, it still is fixable, obviously, if it's worthwhile and you don't total the unit. But anything could be fixed.
Okay. Yeah, I think anytime there's something different, there's a fear.
Yep.
So yeah, that's good to know. And then
What, Kenny, I gotta jump in. I got
Yeah.
one more question related to that, just based on my ignorance. On the fiberglass, is it just a paint and then a gel coat that goes over top of the fiberglass itself?
So it's actually gel coat. Gel coat is the outer skin, and that's when you spray the mold. That is the first thing that you spray. When you lay up the mold, that's the first thing you spray is the gel coat. And we use Polit 944, which is a very expensive, durable marine grade gel coat. And the big takeaway with marine gel coats, they have UV inhibitors in there, so obviously it's long lasting, it's more durable. And then after the gel coat cures, that's when you start to lay in the fiberglass. So we don't paint campers. When we pull them off the mold, they're done. So if they want a blue one, guess what color gel coat we're buying? Blue.
And then what's the maintenance like on that? Like, for as an owner, would I just have to wash it and make sure the gel coat is, what do I have to do to the
It's
gel
just
coat?
wash it and you could wax it. It's just like buffing out your car. No different.
Okay.
And because the gel coat is the actual color, I would imagine if somebody would get a scratch, it's that color all the way through. So it's not like paint that chips off or anything like that. I guess I'm thinking of that, right?
That's correct. Yes, we have 20 to 22 mils of gel coat on our units. So again, little scratches you probably wouldn't see. Now, if it's a gouge, you might get down to the fiberglass. But again, anything is repairable. So yeah, it's not too alarming. If you do get damage, it's an easy fix.
Okay.
The gel coat you said is like 20 to 22 mils thick?
Yep.
Oh, that's way thicker than paint and clear coat.
Yes. So we have to put it on a certain thickness. So obviously it doesn't, you either get cracking if it's too thick, or alligator it's called if it's too thin. So yeah, so there's technical components of lamination. Yes.
And then you had mentioned the manufacturing and factory and stuff like that. Do you guys offer factory tours? Can somebody come to Cortes Campers and do a factory tour?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
I know I'm always a fan of factory tours.
Yeah, it's pretty cool coming here and seeing something totally different. Where obviously when you're watching 2 to 3 people lay up a mold, it's not a lot of labor. In our industry, you use really good materials, but you don't need a ton of labor. It's kind of the opposite what you see in the stick and tin Elkhart market. You see, lower cost on materials and a whole lot of labor.
Also, on your website, it says that you have a plug and play wiring harness. What is that wiring harness used for?
So everything's plug and play. So we don't want to have flame torches, and we want to make everything as easy to manufacture as possible. So we take connectors and put them on the backs of all the appliances, the stereos, the TV. So it's basically a clip. I think that attention to detail, you can easily see where wires are run. Anything with a clip is better than doing it the old-fashioned way. So we're just trying to have one more step in innovation and the ease of manufacturing and cleanliness too. It looks clean.
Also, probably ease of service if
Yeah.
anything were to ever happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Service-wise must make things much, much easier. Well, Tony, I think that's all of our questions. Unless there's something that we might have missed or that you want to highlight. Shawn and I are not very familiar with this fiberglass construction. So is there anything that we might not have even thought to ask you?
No, you guys definitely did your homework. And again, I just think it's something that, when you look at molded fiberglass compared to the market, it's just such a small percentage. And I think Cortes is kind of on the trend to really get, to get our name out there, to get our units out there on a nationwide dealer network, to really educate people on, a different market and product, just to maybe rethink of what you want to do with your camping, and that's what we're all about. So no, I thought it was great. You guys did your homework, and it was the same exact thing at Hershey. As people said, "Whoa, what is this?" And our sales guys were just really excited to just dive in and give people the takeaways of what Cortes Campers is all about. And we're getting our name out there, and it'll eventually sink in and continue to build, and that's the goal.
So if people are interested in finding out more, is the website cortescampers.com?
That's it. Yep.
Okay. And then you mentioned Facebook, and I'm sure you guys have Instagram and all the other social medias.
Yes, anybody can inquire directly through the website. We have a chat app right on the website that goes directly to our salespeople. They work around the clock. They're very responsive, making sure they're getting with all the leads. We are on social media, and if anybody has questions, just feel free to go right directly to the website and inquire.
Well, we want to thank you for your time, Anthony, and we really appreciate it. And we would probably love to have you back on in a couple years after you guys have grown and innovated and taken over the fiberglass market. So yeah, we would love to have you back
I
on
would
in a couple
I
years.
just let me know. I'd love to be a part of it, and thank you for helping us get some exposure and to have your listeners dive into what we do, and it's been great. So I definitely would be excited to have another conversation with you guys.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview as much as we did. I really loved learning about the benefits of the fiberglass construction and just how lightweight it can be while still staying incredibly strong. Seems like a winning combination to me. I look forward to keeping an eye on the company and watching it grow and seeing where their innovation takes them next. We wish you all safe travels, but before you go, we ask could you take the time to leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast platform? These ratings or reviews really help the podcast grow and reach more people. Plus, Sean and I always enjoy hearing from you. Take care all, and we will catch you next time. Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com. With the complexity of all the systems in an RV, I always say it's not if something's going to break, but a matter of when is something going to break. That is why I think an extended warranty for RVs is so important. We first interviewed wholesale warranties back in 2019 and immediately became impressed with how their policies worked, such as you can take your RV to any licensed repair shop, including mobile repairs. They also have personalized service plans, making sure you are getting the right policy for your needs. And if you think your RV is too old for a policy, you might be surprised to hear that RVs up to 20 years old can still be approved for a policy. That is more age lenient than most RV parks I've stayed at. Go to wholesalewarranties.com/beyond the wheel or click the link down below in our show notes to get your free quote today.